Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake DFS Podcast. I am CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I'm joined here by one of my WiseTake regulars, podcast regular, Fuego Steve. You can find him on Twitter at Fuego_Steve. And we're joined by a special guest making his first appearance on the WiseTake DFS Podcast. We got MattyIce. You can find him on Twitter at MattJ Schreiber. Did I pronounce it right, Matt?
Close enough. Schreiber.
Oh, Schreiber. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. At MattJ Schreiber.
I did the same thing for a while. No problem.
But you know what? Everybody calls him MattyIce anyway.
Right.
How we doing today, Matt? Welcome to the show, man. Glad to have you on.
Hey, thanks for having me. Hey, we're doing well, other than my team's losing everywhere. But I'll get over it.
It happens. I know it was a tough break for your hockey guys, right?
Oh, the Caps lost. The Wizards lost.
Oh.
I'm a DC guy, so Fuego's from the same area, but he doesn't really get invested in any of these teams like I do. Plus, he's an O's fan. I'm a Nats fan, so at least the Nats beat the O's. That made it a little bit easier. And being able to come on here and look at Fuego's face for an hour is probably going to make everything way better. So,
isn't it? He just has that effect on people, right?
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Be able to do that, and then he called me, and immediately I'm like, oh, well, why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah,
that's what he does, man. That's what Fuego does. Fuego does what Fuego does. Matt, you ready to talk some baseball?
I'm ready to talk some baseball.
All right, man. We're gonna. Well, I don't think Fuego's ever ready to talk baseball, but Fuego does what Fuego does, so he's gonna do it.
Yeah, well, exactly. I got Owings up with 2 men on. That would be nice. I don't mind talking the sweat and talking about that much more than the whose WOBA is different than someone else's.
Understood, guys. All right, there's only 2 games in the early slate, so we're only going to cover the main slate today. First game, we got Dallas Keuchel, the lefty from the Houston Astros, visiting Michael Pineda of the New York Yankees in New York. What are we doing, Fuego?
I think you got to like both these pitchers on this slate. It's not a – we have another I don't think it was as bad as today's early slate. Like, who ended up being the best, by the way? Chavez had a good game, actually, didn't he? Or at least an okay game, right?
I think Musgrove did pretty good.
Yeah, we got off him, and then someone, but I think at least he started off well. But so I think you got to be on both pitchers here. There's the total's only 7.6. Both of them, Yankees usually are in the mid 4 to high 4s. Their only implied run total is 4. And Houston, I love playing Houston. Their implied run total is only 3.6 against Pineda. And I love both these teams' bats, but based on the rest of the pitchers on the slate, I think I like the pitchers. As far as the bats, I think because they're both high-powered lineups, I'd be willing to take a chance with some stacks or some mini stacks if I'm not playing the particular pitcher. It's a chance to get guys at lower ownership than they normally would be if they're going against a good pitcher. And if they're not like like Keuchel's great, don't get me wrong. I really like him. But he could get rocked because the Yankees are really good. So, you just never know. You never know. So I would be willing to do that even against a good pitcher.
All right. What you got for us, Matty?
It's weird to see both of these teams be in a game with such a low run implied total.
Right. Nice ballpark, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably lean more towards playing some of the Yankee bats just because the Yankees are hot. And what I typically like to do is just ride the hot bats, even if Vegas is trying to tell me not to.
That's a good play. I like that.
While they're hot, I mean, I know they only have like 3 runs yesterday. They had a day off. I mean, the 3 runs was, to be expected after 2 days before that. They played the longest game in interleague history. So now they got a day off. Keuchel's been hot. He's 5-0, but he's bound to get rocked. Every good pitcher, unless you're Kershaw, really gets rocked at some point. So I mean, I like the Yankees tomorrow. Not as my favorite team, but I'm definitely going to have some exposure to some of their bats.
Yeah, they got some solid righties, that's for sure, in this ballpark. Let me ask you guys a question. No Brian McCann revenge game?
You like those catchers, right?
Well, I'm not nearly as big on revenge game stuff in baseball. There's just too much variance. They got 3 games to get it done. Like I said, now you're gonna try to guess which one it happens in. Like no.
Yeah, exactly. Not a one-on-one matchup versus a former
like pitchers. Pitchers is one thing. You know what I'm saying? Because like at least you have a chance to score in every batter. But like. Just assuming Brian McCann out of these 3 games, this is gonna be the one. Like you don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly. I do like Matt Holliday definitely righty versus lefty. Holliday's been pretty hot, and he seems to go.
Sanchez is back. He hit a dong in his game back against the Reds, right? I think so. I think in Cincinnati he hit one. Sanchez.
He did. He hit one yesterday. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yep.
And then I'm with you guys.
I'm not. I don't think I like any of the Cincy bats, unless you're doing.
What Cincy bats?
Cincinnati bats. I don't like any of the bats.
You mean?
I mean not Cincinnati. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I meant Houston bats, except for some of the if you're going to go one-offs, maybe some of the bigger boys like Correa, who I always love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I hear you. I'm with you guys. Dylan Bundy of the Baltimore Orioles visiting AJ Cole of Matty's Washington Nationals. We got Fuego's team and Matty's team. And I think this should be the last game of the series, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yep. Right. Yeah, this will be the 4th one.
All right, Fuego, go ahead. Tell us what we're doing, and we're going to go to Matty after.
Let's see.
Matty's eyes are lit up right now. He's so excited to talk about the Nationals right now.
I like both these teams a little bit. They both only have a 4.3 implied run total each, which that makes me curious. Dylan Bundy, though, because Bundy's been pitching so well. Well, I wouldn't say so well. He's been pitching well. But I don't see. I would still play lefties versus him for sure. I'd probably play any of them. They might be cooling off a little, but I'd still do it. And who's Washington has? AJ Cole. I mean, AJ Cole doesn't scare me. I'd play Oriole bats against him. I don't know why they're each only supposed to get 4.3, which is just keep an eye on that. See if that changes.
I mean, I'll just say this a million times. As long as the Nationals bullpen situation isn't being figured out, play the other bats against them. Realistically, in this situation, AJ Cole probably won't go longer than 6 innings. So the Orioles are on the road, so they'll get that extra at bat no matter what in the 9th inning. So you get probably at least 3 innings of bullpen play, assuming that they don't light Cole up early because he's nothing special. I mean, this thing could just blow open. And I kind of like Bundy. I mean, I love my Nationals bats. I want to play them every single night because they've started the year off so hot. I mean, Zimmerman's been insane. He's starting to cool down. The only one that really hasn't been doing anything is Trey Turner. And just watching him over the plate, he just doesn't look confident. I don't see that really changing anytime soon. So until he really starts to step it up, I'm not going to have anything to do with him. But
you think it's just a confidence thing?
I think it might be a confidence thing. I mean, I know he was hurt early on, but he came back and he hit for the cycle at Coors right after that. So I think it's ever since he left Coors, he's kind of been a train wreck. So
Well, so supposedly he's one of those launch angle dudes. Like there's like a big revolution going on with like Yonder Alonso and all these guys are starting to swing up on the ball or whatever. And supposedly he's in that group. I think Murphy joined it last year and brought him onto it this year. That's what they say. That's what I hear.
Yeah, I don't know what Murphy did last year. I think Zim came into that this year for sure. I'm not sure about Turner. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, you were talking about Turner. I thought you were talking about Zimmerman. My bad.
Yeah, Zimmerman, absolutely. Zimmerman, definitely.
My apologies. I thought you were talking about
Yeah, no, we were talking about what's wrong with Turner because he definitely has not been playing well since at least recently. I mean, even from the beginning, so yeah, I could see that it being a confidence thing, and
right.
you know, especially as a young guy, when you're a young player, it's hard to get out of those sometimes.
Yeah, you look at his numbers. He has I think he's got 13 RBIs this year. 7 of them came in that game where he hit for the cycle. So he really hasn't been too impressive at all, really. I'm not sure. Does Bundy throw hard? How hard does Bundy throw?
Yeah, he's a hard thrower.
He is a hard thrower. Because the one thing with the Nats is, if you saw last night with Baldo Jimenez, they don't hit slow pitching really well. You know, they much rather face a Noah Syndergaard type of pitcher that throws 100 and then just beat up on him all game. But I don't know. I kind of like Bundy. Definitely don't like Cole. Definitely like some of the Orioles bats. I mean, Cole's only pitched I think 6 innings this year. He's not really going to strike anybody out. He's pretty bad against both sides of the plate historically. So I mean, you could take your pick with pretty much anyone you want. Top of the order with the Orioles, all the way down to maybe Scope. Scope will probably bat 6th or 7th. I know.
Well, he batted 6th today, and I actually played him. I love to play him when he bats 6th. And he's
when he bats anything, and you love Scope.
Yeah, he's been on fire this year. But I will say one name that I will be probably playing, and that's Trumbo. He is starting to heat up, I think. Yeah, he hit a home run on
yesterday. Hit another one tonight.
I don't know if you saw it. He crushed that ball tonight. He destroyed it. So if he's starting to heat up, this is when you got to get in on it in the beginning before they masses get on him. So I'd roll Trumbo up there.
That goes with pretty much any situation, right, Fuego? Whenever somebody's hot, we like to ride them until they cool off.
I'm definitely a streaks guy, no matter what people say. There are such thing as streaks in my mind. There's such thing as seeing the ball well. There's such things as not seeing the ball well, and I'm all about that. And especially in DFS, and you know, compared to season long, you know, you have one day, you have that day to make money. So you want to get guys either in the beginning of a streak or, you know, playing while before they cool off, hopefully.
So with that said, Zimmerman's been starting to cool down a little bit. Is it time to jump off that train? I mean, the price is definitely up there. I mean, what is he now, 4,400? It was much more fun to play when he was 2,900. You know, but yeah, he's starting to cool down. What did he go, 0 for 4, 0 for 5 tonight?
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, he killed me today.
Yeah, I would not want to play him right now. Maybe, you know, jump off that train. And we spent a lot of time for this game because it's our favorite teams. But yeah, I could definitely see getting off that Zimmerman train. See if it comes back. Maybe just be careful because we decided to get off the Eric Thames train, or at least some people did. And he's back at it again. So
when's your boy Chris Davis gonna wake up, man? Wait a minute, a home run, man. When's he gonna do it, Fuego? Is this the day, Fuego?
Did he hit one yesterday?
Did he, Chris Davis?
No, he didn't hit one yesterday. He hit
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
Was it?
I didn't think he did 2 days ago.
No, Seth Smith hit one off of Scherzer. And
Smith.
then Trumbo hit one off of Strasburg today.
Oh, you're right. It's been a
while, man.
Man, my days all run together. This is 5 days ago.
He's one of the most frustrating people to watch. The one thing I will say about Zimmerman, he struck out tonight with the bases loaded, but he's also had some pretty bad luck. He ripped one. Somebody was on second. Worth was on second, I think, and there was 2 outs in one of the earlier innings of the game, and Zim ripped one. I think it was the first inning, maybe. He ripped one, and Hardy jumped as high as he ever did in his life and caught it. But
the problem with Chris Davis is he strikes out looking sometimes, and that just pisses me off.
That drives me crazy.
That'll drive anyone crazy, especially when there's guys on base and you're about to benefit from their runs.
Right.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on. We got Chase DeJong I think I'm saying it right, of the Seattle Mariners visiting Marco Estrada of the Toronto Blue Jays. Go ahead, Fuego.
I definitely do not want to play Chase DeJong.
Maybe it's Chase DeYoung. I don't know.
Where's he
I
from?
have no real interest there. And who's the Blue Jay starter? Marco
Estrada.
Yeah, I don't mind Estrada. When I'm taking Matt Amon's role tonight, I'm looking at his DraftKings points here. Before last game, he only got 12, but he had 23, 23, 24, 26, 4 straight games. And that was against the Orioles, the Red Sox, the Cardinals, and the Yankees. Those are 4 good offensive teams there. So I would be interested in Estrada for sure. And as far as the bats go, Toronto, they still have not been doing anything. So, but they're going against DeJong. So maybe do they wake up? I guess you have to take that chance because otherwise, why wouldn't you play him?
Yeah, I mean, what is it? 9-run total for the game. This guy's got a 6.75 ERA, and his Sierra is 5.7 in the last 30.
Oh yeah, the Blue Jays are projected to get 4.9 runs, which
got a big projection.
Yeah, that's actually the highest on, second highest on the slate outside of Coors.
So there's a couple ways that you could look at it. Do people just say, well, the Blue Jays have been trash all year, let's just stay away from them, even though Vegas likes them and they're going against this guy who none of us can probably pronounce his name properly? Or are people going to say the matchup is just too good? The thing is, I mean, without Donaldson and without E5, that lineup's pretty garbage.
Absolutely.
It's rough.
But even without them, I mean, I can't sit here and tell you I know everything about this pitcher. I just know that the metrics look pretty bad. He seems to struggle with lefties, but it's such a small sample size. At least for this year, gives up a WOBA of 438 to lefties and 318 to righties. So, I mean, I guess play some of the lefties on Toronto if you're going to play them.
He didn't have a horrible game last time out against the Rangers. I mean, 4 hits, a home run, and that was the only run he gave up was a 1 home run in 6-inning pitch. He only struck out 3, but he ended up with 15 DraftKings points. That's interesting.
I like both the bats in this game, man. I'm not really big on Estrada just because from a K upside perspective. Now on DraftKings, I get it because if he could survive the game, then you're in decent shape. You got to pick 2 pitchers, and there's not a lot of good pitchers on the slate. But from a FanDuel perspective, I don't think I want to pick on Seattle much. They don't strike out a lot. Some of their better hitters are left-handed, and I'm not saying that like I'm on the same side. I like the Toronto bats too, just because. Yeah, they're slumping, but eventually eventually some of these guys are going to start hitting. So maybe not a full-blown stack, but I mean, maybe like Batista, he hit one today. Maybe he's starting to heat up a little bit. Justin Smoke, he's a switch hitter. He'll be a lefty bat with some power in there. But the Seattle, man, I know it was in Philly, but they went down in Philly, man, and they put up some runs,
They're starting to heat up. What's his name? Gamel,
yeah.
Cano hit a home run 2 days in a row. It's Philly, the ballpark, But,
no, I hear you, and they got good lefties. Seager, Gamel, Cano are all good lefties, so I can see that.
10 runs yesterday and 11 today.
Right. All right, let's see. We got Clayton Richard, the lefty from the San Diego Padres, visiting Martín Pérez, another lefty from the Texas Rangers. Go ahead, Fuego.
We got a lot of pretty decent run totals on this slate. I in my mind, anything 4.5 or above is decent to me.
Here there was a time where we could play Martín Pérez.
Yeah, well, that time is past.
It's true. There was a time. It has passed, but there was a time.
Was it?
Yeah, I think he might be even against the Padres, he might be like the worst in my model, which is, I mean, and although the Padres have been playing okay, it just depends. But I'll definitely go with some San Diego hitters against him. And for Clayton Richard, right? No thanks. Give me some Texas bats. Load up the Texas bats quite a bit. I didn't see what their total is. I'm going to guess 5 or something. 5.1. Yeah, so exactly. So load up the Texas Ranger bats.
Yeah.
What you got, Matty?
You could probably go load up on both sides and game stack it. I can't imagine it being too expensive on FanDuel. Both teams are garbage. I can't believe I've never really stopped to look at the standings until a couple days ago. It's crazy. Texas in dead last in their division. Kansas City's in dead last in their division, and Toronto's in dead last in their division. Those 3 teams were like the top 3 teams in the AL. Not last year, but the 2 years before that. They were playing well. Now they're just hot garbage. But I don't know. San Diego, the only thing with San Diego is they kind of struggle against lefties collectively as a team. They hit, let me just pull up the number here.
Well, what do you think of Spangenberg? He's
263 WOBA against lefties with a 595 OPS, and they strike out 23% of the time. I'm not saying go play Martín Pérez because don't. But
yeah, they all have negative WOBA differences and ISO differences for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is the funny thing about baseball, and we'll always say this, is honestly, it doesn't matter how bad you are on the mound. It doesn't matter how bad you are over the plate. You're still a professional, and there could be one game out of how many starts does a pitcher get a year? 35. There could be one game out of those 35 where you're just lights out. You strike out 8 guys, 9 guys, just because the matchup was good or whatever the circumstances are. I'm not saying Perez is going to do it. The craziest thing about Perez is he's a reverse splits guy. So his WOBA against lefties is .436, and against righties it's .338. So, I mean, I'm not saying go play Ryan Schimpf, but I mean, if you're gonna stack lefties on or if you're gonna stack the Padres, don't be scared to stack them with lefties.
Yeah, it's funny you said something like I don't know if Tommy G from Guru Elite and XM. I think I heard him talk about the 20-60-20 rule, where 60% of the time the pitcher is going to pitch the way he normally pitches. 20% of the time he's going to pitch above the way he normally pitches, and 20% of the time he's going to pitch below. So those 20% is a good odds to me to, if you want to play in a GPP, to either attack a pitcher or play a pitcher. I mean, they're not great odds. You still got 80% of the time he's not going to, but that's an interesting take because I agree. In baseball, you get a guy who bats 200 is not going to stay in the league, but even a guy who, let's say he's batting 240, that's 24 hits out of every 100. Well, that's 24 times he's hitting the ball, getting possible RBIs, possible blah, blah, blah. So it's still, he's not going 0 for 3 every single day. So that's the crazy variance part of baseball.
Yeah,
for sure. What do you guys think about like Hedges and Renfroe?
Ooh, I love Hedges. Oh.
I love Hedges too. That's why I figured I'd just throw a feeler out there.
At first, I thought you meant like hedging staff or something. I was like, wait, what? And then it clicked too, right? Oh, yeah, I like Hedges too. I always think of them every time I play him. I think of that hedging.
Yeah, for sure. What are you gonna say, Matty?
No, I was gonna say I was thinking the exact same thing until I heard you say Renfroe.
Okay. All right, we got Phil Hughes of the Minnesota Twins visiting Derek Holland, the lefty from the Chicago White Sox. This could be the makeup game. Go ahead, Fuego.
Yeah, that's got to be the makeup game, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
White Sox. Oh, so is it going to be the same pitchers? Yeah.
As of now, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. But as of now, it looks like they're projected to go.
Right. So if it's the same ones, then I still don't like them, just like I didn't like them yesterday. Yeah, so no real interest in Holland. I think we said something like, we wish a different team was going against him because I don't really. But I would play some Minnesota bats against him. And no, I think we said it the other way around. We said we wish better Phil Hughes is pitching. We wish someone better than the White Sox were going against them. Yeah, exactly.
Right, that's right.
So yeah, and that's the way I feel. I would attack Hughes for sure if it was a different team, but I'm not sure I'm going to attack him with White Sox bats. But I have no interest in playing him either. And then no interest in playing Holland. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Matty. What you got?
I have like slight interest in playing Holland. He hasn't been awful this year. I mean, even if you're just a game log guy.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at him right now. 20 on DraftKings, 28, 14, 23, 22, 15. Those are good DraftKings boards.
I mean, on FanDuel, 31, 40, 20, 43, 29, 48, 7,900. Tomorrow, there's really not that much to like with pitchers. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy with them, but I'm probably going to have a little bit of exposure to them. Minnesota is pretty hit or miss. I mean, I'm going to assume he's going to get the win. Phil Hughes definitely doesn't scare me, even though for some reason he's 4-1. Honestly, wins are just the dumbest stat in baseball, in my opinion. Because, like, a pitcher will pitch 4 innings and his team will be up, but maybe he gets hurt and he doesn't pitch 5. But then somebody else will come in and then the scorer will have discretion on who gets the win, but it won't be the starter. Or a guy will blow a save. They'll blow like a 3-run save, and then somebody will come in on their team in the bottom of the 9th and hit a home run, and the guy who blew the save gets the win. I mean, it's just stupid.
Yeah, like what? How come they're allowed to pitch 1 inning and get a win, but the starter has to pitch 5?
That's a good point.
Why can't he pitch 4? Right, exactly.
It's just so like that's why I mean, at least when I go to make my lineups or whenever I'm analyzing pitchers, I never look at wins just because it's just dumb. But you kind of have to look at it because you get 6 points for it on fantasy, you know? So I don't know. I wish it wasn't as heavily. I mean, 6 points for a win, 4 points for a quality start. The quality start I get, but the win can just, I don't know. It's weird. I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking the quality start, to be honest with you.
I agree with that, but the win is so. It's so annoying, you know. It's tilting sometimes. You know, the guy will be 4 2/3 and nothing will happen. But no, like I was saying with Holland, I mean, his numbers aren't awful at all.
You like any of the bats in the game?
In the game I mean, I can never find myself liking anyone on Chicago, but I guess you kind of have to because Hughes is not good. But I'm not really going to go with anyone on the Twins. Holland is really good against lefties this year. And, I mean, just Minnesota as a team, 287 WOBA against lefties. And they strike out over 20% of the time. So, I don't know, just something to think about. No love for Holland at all?
Well, I don't know about that, but do you know that it looks like the White Sox, every single one of them has a negative WOBA difference.
They're all right-handed. They got like 3 guys that'll bat from the left side of the plate. Other than that, it's like mostly righties.
Are they still rolling?
Man, you know what?
Triple
If someone's feeling frisky, I could see throwing Phil Hughes out on DraftKings.
Oh, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I see the merit for Holland. I do, just because he has been, he's had K upside. I don't know how, but he's been striking guys out a little bit. He's been staying in there long enough to get quality starts. But at the same time, I could turn around and say, well, Kenny Vargas has been really hot. Sanu has been pretty good. Escobar has been hitting home runs. So it's like I can see both sides. Like I can see Holland, but I can also see some Twins bats. So it's like I guess this is the hedge situation that we were talking about earlier for sure. But yeah, I mean, you know what, Fuego, you know what? I can't really hate on Hughes all that much just because the White Sox, there's a lot of righties in there, and they're not good. So Yeah, man, on DraftKings, the pitching slate's that bad. So
All I'm saying is on DraftKings, he's put up 16, 10, and 12 the
and
last.
He's cheap, right? I'm assuming he's really cheap on DraftKings.
Yeah, he's 5,800. So
oh,
I mean,
yeah, okay, yeah. So he's on a tier where you can consider him at that tier.
right? Because you're not loving 16, but you would,
right.
You would take 16 on DraftKings. Yeah.
Yeah, on a core slate, absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's see. We got Hyunjin Ryu, the lefty from the Los Angeles Dodgers, visiting Tyler Anderson, the lefty from the Colorado Rockies. Here's the Coors game. Go ahead, Fuego.
It's Coors.
It's Coors.
That's right. I still like your idea of me getting the shirt that says "I play Westbrook, I play Coors." And you know what? You could add.
I play Westbrook, I play Coors. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I will have some of each side of the batters, and you probably are aware if anyone listens to pod that I've been loving Bellinger of the Dodgers. He hit another home run tonight, I think, and I love that late night. So I will be playing. Now this one's not. This isn't in Colorado, but so I've been playing a lot of the Dodgers, for example. So I'll, play the bats, don't play the pitchers. Is either pitcher even close to playable?
How did the Cubs get shut out at Coors today?
Yeah, well, because it's baseball.
Exactly. So you could fade Coors and fade Westbrook, but.
No, but I don't. So that's the thing.
No, you can, but I don't.
No, let's put this I fade Coors all the time. Let's put this I fade them today with the weather. I started to fade them. I'm just saying I'm not afraid to play them because you don't have to be afraid of the ownership because you can get different elsewhere. So if you play Coors, for example, you could throw out Estrada or you could throw out someone who other people might not be as high on his pitcher. Holland, for example, 5,200, right, on DraftKings. You could throw Holland out there. I don't think he's going to be super popular.
Holland
you can do stuff
how much
like
on
that.
DraftKings?
5,200.
He's 79 on FanDuel.
79.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, that makes me like him a lot more, by the way, going back to the last game. But so that's where I'm at.
Oh, yeah, Matty, what you got?
I mean, Tyler Anderson's pretty bad, but the Dodgers don't scare me against lefties at all. The only thing is Tyler. It's like a double-edged sword because Tyler Anderson's terrible.
He struck out 10 in 6 innings against the Diamondbacks last time out.
This is true.
But I agree. He normally does not do that. But that's a little
game I'm telling you about.
Well, that was the 20% of him performing above. That's right. He's going to go back to the 60% of whatever he normally does, which is 10, 13, 1, negative something.
I mean, look at it. Yeah, 32, 9, 3, 24, 23, 55.
Yeah, on DraftKings, it's negative. So it's DraftKings, it's 31, negative 3, 10, 13, negative 1.
55 at Coors.
Yeah. Don't play Tyler Anderson, people.
Righty lineup. My thing is, I like to look for pitchers that are coming off of a poor outing, and then I like to look at pitchers who had a really, really good outing last time that maybe overperformed, like Anderson, and attack them with bats. But I guess what you have to do is try and figure out who you want to attack them with on the Dodgers. I mean, it's Coors, so I guess don't be scared of playing lefties against them. I mean, you can always it's always more contrarian. There's ways to be contrarian with Coors, obviously. People get scared off of lefty-lefty matchups. For some reason, you know what's weird? I always wondered. People get scared off of lefty-lefty matchups way more than they get scared off of righty-righty matchups. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but honestly, I think it makes sense because there's less left-handed pitchers than there are right-handed pitchers. So if you're a righty, growing up playing Little League, you probably saw a significant amount of righties. If you're a lefty, you still probably haven't seen all that many lefties. And not to mention the spin coming from a lefty and the spin, like a natural spin a lefty throws, it spins a lot more naturally and from an awkward angle than a right. You know what I'm saying? So like righties are kind of used to seeing the ball come from behind them because they face a lot of righties growing up. But lefties are unique enough to where if a lefty's up against a lefty, you're probably not used to seeing that ball come from behind you. Like maybe in a season you faced a lefty maybe, let's say hypothetically, say 10 games, right? Maybe like 3, and you've probably seen a righty 7. You know, where a righty, same thing. He saw a lefty 3 times, but he's probably seen a righty 7 times. So I think that, you know, I'm left-handed. When I always bet, I was left-handed. And I can tell you right now, as a lefty, man, like it was rare that I would go up against another lefty at like going through the levels, even in high school. There's just more righties. And whenever I would go up to a bat against a lefty, it would freak me out. It just seemed weird. It seemed unnatural. It's just like, you know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. I think it's just more of like one's common and the other one's not as common. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. And thing is, with the Dodgers is we know they're lefty heavy, but we got to figure out which guys in their lineup we want to target. We want to target Anderson with. I mean, you could go with guys like Puig. The weird thing is Turner.
I'm still playing Bellinger.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think he's the lefty that, if you're looking for the lefty-lefty matchup to play, I mean, there you go. Him and Seager are the only 2 lefties that are probably going to play. The rest of the lefties are probably going to sit as long as Franklin Gutierrez is available to play.
Yeah, you could play Gutierrez. Gutierrez will probably bat cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor will probably lead off. Tolles is out for the year. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No, who?
I did hear something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Tolles. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
Wow.
Him and my boy Adam Eaton still bummed about that. We gave up like the house for him.
Oh man, that's terrible for Nats fans, dude. That sucks. That really sucks. Like, he was doing good too, man.
Oh, he was great. He was just perfect. He led off. I don't even want to get into it, but
we'll change the subject for you. You know what the Dodgers need in this situation? Forsythe, man. I know he's hurt, but that's the guy they need in this situation.
Forsythe. I mean, they have Gutierrez. When I think of platooning, I think of Gutierrez.
Right.
Yeah, Gutierrez is definitely a good play tomorrow for sure, especially if he's batting cleanup. I mean, his WOBA differences and ISO differences are huge, so play him for sure. And I think we've spent enough time on the Colorado game.
We didn't even talk about Colorado.
You don't have to. It's Colorado.
Yeah, it's just kind of we
either play him or you don't, right? Like that's how I feel about Colorado. Like, it's lefty matchups. Blackmon, lefty versus lefty.
Blackmon doesn't scare me dude. He'll crank anyone at home, and
that's what I'm saying. Like, are you really scared of playing any of these guys unless it's a super stud pitcher? And even then, you'll still see him. So play the bats or don't play him. That's the question you have to decide. I think this is a slate we can fade them, but
perfect. That's what I'm hoping other people are going to say too. I'm hoping they're like, oh, Tyler Anderson. I'm thinking like Hyunjin Ryu. I'm going to attack him. Whenever Charlie Blackmon makes contact at Coors, the sound is just insane. It sounds so much better than any other sound any other bat makes anywhere. So I don't know. I love playing him when he's at home. I think I play him pretty much every single time.
I hear you.
So we can move off Coors. I mean, it just goes without saying. But yeah, Gutierrez from that game. Gutierrez, Chris Taylor, and Puig are probably my 3 favorites, and then obviously Seager and Bellinger.
All right, we got Gerrit Cole of the Pittsburgh Pirates visiting Zack Greinke of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Go ahead, Fuego.
I always like the Diamondback bats. Let's see, they have a 4.6 implied run total. I do want to, Matt said something earlier about the total on the game. And, sure, it's good to know, but I never look at the total. I look at each team's implied projected total because, I think, here you'd say, 8.6. Well, 4.6 is Arizona, and 4 is the Pirates. So just people who are, if you're listening, keep that in mind when you look at totals. Make sure you know which team is favored and by how many more runs. So I like the Diamondbacks bats as usual, and Greinke. I'll probably have some of him for sure. There's not a lot of pitchers I love on this slate, so he's been pitching really well.
Kind of looks like Greinke Dodgers again.
Say again?
Kind of looks like Greinke on the Dodgers again.
Yeah. I mean, he struck out 7-7, 9-6, 11-6. I mean, he's pitching really well. So and the Pittsburgh bats don't scare me whatsoever. So I definitely could fire. Now he is one of the higher priced ones, but that's okay. Gerrit Cole. I was looking at AJ Cole again. I'm like, wait, what? I was gonna get my games mixed. Gerrit Cole. I don't think. But he's been pitching well too. But it's against Arizona. That's the problem in Arizona. So that would make me nervous. But he's been. I mean, his DraftKings points 27, 19, 30, 20, 19. 8 strikeouts, 7, 8, 8, 8. So he's been pitching pretty well. I wouldn't be mad at someone if they played him there, especially to be different. Let's put it that way.
What you got, man?
I was just thinking back. This is just completely off topic. I was thinking back to last year because you brought up Cole. For some reason, I just remembered AJ Cole played when they played the Orioles last year. He had like 8 strikeouts in like the first 4 innings, and then he just got shelled. I don't know why. That just randomly came to my mind.
What do you think about Gerrit Cole?
I think he's a good pitcher, but I also really, really like the Diamondbacks, and I'd rather pay the extra $1,000 for Greinke.
Right.
Maybe we could play your boy Mathis today.
Well, yeah, that screwed me tonight. I had to change so many lineups that he was only 2,200, so that most people didn't fit. Whatever.
Yeah, this is tough because if you look at the slate overall, these are obviously 2 of the more elite pitchers on the slate that we've discussed. But they happen to be playing in one of the best hitters' parks, and the weather condition, 87 degrees, humidity is like 28%. It's super dry out there, so that ball's gonna fly. These guys can strike people out, but if they don't, they're gonna give up home runs. It's interesting. It's like, and you know what? I think because there's so many worse pitching options on the slate that I don't think people are gonna take too many bats from this game, even though there are high run total projections. Just because I think people are gonna want to play these guys. So I mean, it's something we talked about before, Fuego. You can maybe take a pitcher, one of these pitchers, and still take a hitter from the other side, and just hope that you get lucky and he's the one that hits the dong. You know what I'm saying?
Like Jake Lamb, for example. If you really like Cole and you think he's going to do well, but you think he's going to give up something, you take your chance with Jake Lamb, lefty versus righty, and hope the one home run he gives up is the Lamb.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got Michael Fulmer of the Detroit Tigers visiting J.C. Ramírez of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Go ahead, Fuego.
Now here's a total where it is exactly the same. A 7 is the total, and they're each supposed to score 3.5 runs. That doesn't entice me towards the batters. Let's put it that way.
No?
No, it doesn't. And so over at the pitcher side, that would say, well, how about the pitchers? Well, we got J.C. Ramírez, right? 6,800 on DraftKings. He's had some good games. Last time out, I don't think he'd have a good. He only pitched. He gave up 8 hits. Well, he only gave up 1 run. He did give up 8 hits, but before that, 26 DraftKings points, 27 DraftKings points, 19 DraftKings points, 9 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts, 9 strikeouts. So he intrigues me. Versus Detroit, who we keep talking about them not performing as well as, though they've picked it up some recently. And Fulmer on the other side, I don't like his price, at least on DraftKings, because I'd rather play Greinke or Keuchel, I think. So I'm not so much as in love with Fulmer. And on the for the bats, would you be a little bit more in love with Fulmer
Pujols and Trout didn't play?
Say again. I'm sorry, I missed it.
You gotta speak a little louder, Matty. A little low.
If Pujols and Trout don't play tomorrow, would you be a little bit more in love with Fulmer?
Let me see what his FanDuel price is.
I mean, I think Fulmer.
On FanDuel, absolutely, because he's only 94, so he's less, a little bit less than like Keuchel, for example. I would be more interested, for example, yeah. But his strikeout per 9 innings isn't as high as some of these other guys who are like Pineda, who we talked about. Even Pineda, I'm just leaning towards Pineda, so that might be the way.
I like Ramírez. I mean, like I was telling you yesterday,
For sure.
I don't like to pick on Detroit with lefties. That's why I was off Robbie Ray yesterday. I know he had some strikeouts, but he did give up a pretty good amount of runs. Ramírez is interesting because he started the year off in the pen, and then he just became a starter. And what has he got? He's got some strikeout upside. I mean, those 2 games with 9 strikeouts, people are probably going to look at the last outing and see that he only had 2 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the perfect time where I jump in, and I always want to play guys that, didn't really reach their upside last game, because it just means there's a better opportunity for them to reach it in their next outing. So I definitely like him, especially at that price, 7,000. It'll let you get some solid bats in. When there's a slate of a bunch of pitchers that we don't like, I mean, we got to assume that means that there's going to be some hitting involved. There's going to be some runs scored. So we're going to need to get some bats in. So, I mean, why not take a chance on a guy like Ramírez?
Yeah, I agree. On both sides, he's good price. And like some of these trends I'm looking at, he's playing at home. His team's favored to win, 3.7 or less runs. The weather, temperatures below 65 degrees. There's a lot of things going in his favor.
Yeah, I definitely like Ramírez a lot. Of the pitchers on this tier, he's definitely my favorite of this tier. The Tigers strike out a lot. That's the bottom line. Even with Collins and Aducci, even with a couple lefties in there, they strike out a lot, and they're going to continue to strike out a lot. So yeah, I like Fulmer. I think he's in a good spot, good park. The Angels, Matt Amon would be all over Fulmer. He loves playing pitchers against his Angels because he thinks they're that bad. But I like Ramírez, man. I really do. You get Detroit flying all the way. They're going to be all the way out west. Now, granted, they were just in Phoenix, but they're going out west, the Marine Layer thing and all that, and they're striking out a ton. So I'm with you guys, man. I like Ramírez. He's probably my favorite pitcher at that tier.
Let me do add. I certainly would play Fulmer. I said I wasn't too much interested. I could see it because we don't have a ton of pitchers on this slate. So this is another guy. I know I've said this a couple times. I wouldn't blame people for playing him, especially Matt Amon.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you guys a question. Fulmer, Cole, and Greinke, right? So obviously, Greinke and Cole have, you would think, bigger upside, of course. However, they have similar matchups, and because the Angels are striking out a decent amount this year, especially if Trout and Pujols are not in the lineup. And then you got Michael Fulmer in a much better park, much better pitching conditions, like weather-wise. So it's like it makes you think, right? What do you think you would prefer of those three? Would you still rather have Greinke or Cole, or do you think you'd rather have Fulmer?
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm not crazy about Pittsburgh, so I probably like Greinke the most. But then again, I mean, it's at Chase Field, so.
Well, that's kind of
what do you think?
I was leaning Greinke too.
It's tough, man.
It is, yeah. Hey, that's what this game's tough. That's why we do the podcast, to give people, and even, it's funny when I get tweets or I get messages and hey, help! I won because of you and yada yada. But they're only mentioning like the 3 of the 10 guys I got right.
All right, we got one more game, guys. Bronson Arroyo of the Cincinnati.
Almost done.
Almost there. Bronson Arroyo of the Cincinnati Reds visiting Tyler Bloch, lefty from the San Francisco Giants. Go ahead, Fuego.
By the way, Fulmer's my favorite out of those.
Yeah, I like Fulmer. I like Fulmer out of
them.
Go ahead, Fuego. Talk about the Reds and the Giants for it.
Now we're at the Reds and the Giants. I jumped the gun before, and I'm not interested in either pitcher. No, thank you. And I'm definitely interested in some Cincinnati bats. Excuse me. I'll tell you, I always like playing Hamilton. But I wouldn't say I'm super interested in Cincinnati bats. I just have a little interest in Cincinnati bats. Because this is a case where I don't love the Cincinnati bats per se, but they're going against a pitcher I don't like, so it bumps them up. And for San Francisco side, I'm not too, Arroyo though he's just not very good. So I could see playing some guys from San Francisco. But the run total, let's see what the run totals. 4.3 and 3.8. So this is the kind of game we talk about a lot, where we're not interested in pitchers, but we're not interested in batters either. At least that's what I'm seeing.
How does Ty Blosh go against a team that is only projected to score 3.8 runs? How does Vegas come up with that number?
Yeah, he gave up 11 hits and 8 earned runs for negative 16 points.
The ball lately, mashing the ball.
Oh wait, was that against Cincinnati?
No way. Was it?
Yes, it was. It was at Cincinnati. Am I seeing this correct? Well, and now he's playing them again. Maybe that does interest me more in Cincinnati bats.
You're definitely seeing this right. I mean, negative 15 is his last time out. That's
it. Yep.
All three combined to do way better than him. So, yeah, I'm still interested in Cincinnati bats. I'm definitely going to look at who exactly.
I got a quick question for you, Matt. So in a case like this, where the pitcher got destroyed by the team he played last time, and now he's going up against it again, who do you give the edge to? Do you say, well, the pitcher got rocked, he's surely going to make adjustments, or they got his number, let's go after him again?
Honestly, I think it depends on big overall sample size and the actual pitcher. I'm not going to really make too much of it with this guy. I probably lean more towards the batters with this guy because, I mean, we don't really know anything about him. He's not proven. But if it was somebody like, a good pitcher, let's just say, who's hot this year? Who's respectable? It's kind of hard to find a good respectable pitcher. I'll just say Scherzer. Let's just say Scherzer got lit up by a team last week, and then he went out and faced them the next week. I would definitely lean towards Scherzer because it probably didn't have as much to do with the team as it did with just the pitcher just didn't have as good stuff that day.
Right.
I mean, there's a perfect situation I think we could look at here. I was just looking at it. I'm just trying to remember who it was. Damn it. Somebody had I think it might have even been Greinke. Yeah, Greinke was just pretty consistent. So he actually pitched better against Colorado at course. But I'd be interested to see how he pitches next time. He kind of got lit up last time he played the Dodgers. I'd be interested to see. But overall, in general, it really just depends on the pitcher. If you have a pretty elite guy or somebody that is proven, I think if he gets lit up and then he gets another chance to play him, I'd probably lean towards the pitcher.
Oh, shit. CJ, the Siege is climbing up in the qualifier. He's in 5th place. He's got the full LA stack. 13 points off the lead. Sorry to interrupt.
Really? Yeah, I'm in. Obviously, big part.
Yeah, he's gonna need some. He needs some Justin Turner and Grandal, Bellinger, Corey Seager. And shout out to both our coaches, the Siege for Roto Grinders. Shout out CJ. Good luck. Go get that freaking seat, man.
Okay, it's the bottom of the 8th.
Did you guys have anything to add in this game, or should we just play some dong watch and get out of here?
Let's play the dong watch. I love watching dongs.
I'm sure you do, Fuego. All right, MattyIce, you get the first pick. We always give the guest the first pick. So, snake draft order. You could pick anybody from the main slate, but no cores.
No cores.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go first here. Give me Gutierrez.
No cores.
No cores.
Oh, fuck.
That was the first thing I looked at. I was like, oh, Gutierrez, yeah.
I thought that game was at course for a second. Let me see. Give me Trumbo.
There you go.
All right, Fuego, what you got?
What do I have? Let's say, I kind of want to take Matt's spot and say Trout if he's playing, but we don't know if he's going to. So I'm gonna say, how about Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt, against hard throwing Cole, right? That's what you're saying. He throws hard and he's gonna knock it out.
There you go. I'm with it. I'm going to go with Jake Lamb as my first one. And I'm going to take some Chris Davis from Baltimore with my second one. I think he might be due.
Light rain.
Wow. Taking the he might be due route, which I do a lot in DFS, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if it's the right way to do it, but if I see a guy who
I believe in the law of averages, right? So if a guy is an average X amount of home runs or X amount, and now granted, at a certain point you can't use that because players do depreciate over time. But at a certain point, if you know this guy is going to hit X amount of home runs, and we're at this point in the season, and he's only got X amount, eventually he's going to kick it on. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually he's going to hit a couple.
Exactly. And I tend to agree with you, very much. And how about let's go Robinson Cano.
Like that one. He's been hot.
Matt,
you get two here.
This is awesome. Give me my first one. Give me Eugenio Suarez.
Right from the Reds.
Nice.
And then give me hold on. I just want to check the BVP. Are you guys team BVP?
I'm not. I'm not really the BVP.
I don't mind BVP. I'm not a live or die or anything about it, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, I'll look at it, and if I see something else to back it up, like statistically, then I'll play a player, but I don't rely solely on BVP.
I don't rely solely on it, but I'll look at it, and I mean, like yesterday, perfect example, Adam Jones.
Yes.
Anyone on the Orioles that had any sort of success against Scherzer. Manny Machado is now like 1 for 22 against Scherzer.
Mm-hmm.
Jones was like 14 for 28 or something like that against him. He hit a home run off of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But I wanted to see the BVP for who the hell was it? Oh. I wanted to see if José Abreu had faced Phil Hughes because, I mean, I just like to step outside the box a little
bit. Go ahead. Pick him.
I'm just going to pick him anyways.
There you go.
Who is that? Who was it?
José Abreu.
Give me Will Myers.
Will Myers. Padre.
I think he hasn't hit one in a couple of weeks, maybe.
Okay, and then I still got to pick one more. Oh, I thought we were done. All right, I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with some Bryce Harper here against Bundy. I'm gonna go with some Bryce Harper.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. That's gonna do it for the Game of Game Breakdown. MattyIce, it was a pleasure having you on, man. It was good talking some DFS with you. Thank you very much for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please click that like button. It means a lot to us. Subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on Podbean, give us a follow. If you're listening on iTunes, subscribe to the channel. Leave some positive reviews. Bump us up those ratings. We're trying to bump up there. Anyway, guys, it was a blast as always. Love doing these podcasts. Love bringing on some guests once in a while and having some fun and talking some baseball. So there we go for Matty, for Fuego, and for myself. As always, good luck.
Peace.